In this lecture, I am going to talk about matched filter demodulation of binary orthogonal signaling scheme. When I say binary, I have two. Okay, so I have two signals. Let me call S0 of t and S1 of t. These two signals are orthogonal. Orthogonal meaning you take S0 of t and multiply by S1 of t and integrate with respect to t, then this is equal to 0. So this is the definition of orthogonal. Now your frequency shift keying is an example of the best example of orthogonal signals. Orthogonal signals. There we use two frequencies. Two frequencies. Let's say f1 and f2. So let's say s of t times cos of 2 pi f1 t and same pulse s of t times cos of 2 pi f2 t. These two are orthogonal. You can get orthogonality by using two different frequencies, binary orthogonality, or you can choose two different pulse shapes such that if you do the multiplication then and integrate, then you will get a 0, so that the orthogonality is achieved. For example, I can take a pulse like this, 0 to t, and the amplitude is a. Let me call this is S0 of t. This is a baseband pulse, by the way, and take another pulse like this. This is t by 2 a. This is minus a and S1 of t. Now these two are orthogonal. So orthogonality can be achieved by choosing different frequencies, let's say f1 and f2, or you can choose the pulses like this. But look at here in this, these two pulses are the same shape, but only the frequencies are different. And here the pulse shape is different. Here 0 to t, the pulse looks like this, and here it looks like that. Therefore this is my baseband pulse. If I want equivalent passband, then let me multiply S0 of t times either cosinusoidal or sinusoidal cos naught of t, then S1 of t times cos of same frequency same, but the pulses are different. See, this is different and this is different, and these two are orthogonal again. Orthogonal in passband, and this is orthogonal in baseband. So orthogonal in baseband pulse, and this is orthogonal in passband. Or instead of that, you can choose as I said, like s of t times cos of 2 pi f1 t, and same s of t you took it, and cos of 2 pi f2 t, and this is f1 t and f2 t, and f1 and f2 are chosen such that you take the inner product of this, so like s of t times cos of 2 pi f1 t times s of t times cos of 2 pi f2 t and integrate with respect to t, then they should be equal to 0. Okay, so you can get the orthogonality in this manner or in this manner, either way you can choose. Now let me come back to demodulation of orthogonal signals by using matched filter. Demodulation of orthogonal signals using matched filter. So when I say binary orthogonal signals, then I have two signals, let's say S0 of t and S1 of t. So therefore I have two matched filters. So one matched filter, let me take another matched filter. Let's say this is matched filter 1 and matched filter 2. Okay, the first matched filter is mapped onto matched to s naught of t. So therefore s naught conjugate of minus t. And the second matched filter is matched to s1 of t. Therefore s1 conjugate of minus t. Okay, and this is output of two matched filters. And the input is same. So either you transmit s0 of t or s1 of t. So the input is either s0 of t or s1 of t. And in between noise is getting added here. So the noise, let me denote by n of t. So what you receive at this point is a noisy version of the signal. Noisy signal. Okay. So therefore here the received signal is processed by two matched filters simultaneously. So either you transmit s0 of t or s1 of t, both are received by the two matched filters simultaneously. And obviously one of them is matched to it depending on which one was transmitted. Suppose if you transmit s0 of t, then this matched filter is matched. If you transmit s1 of t, then this matched filter is matched to its input. Okay, so because your transmitted waveform is one of these two waveforms, either s1 of t or s0 of t, and we don't know which one is transmitted. Therefore the whole idea of the demodulator in this case is to find out which of these two waveforms was transmitted. That tells me whether a 1 or 0 was transmitted for the binary case. When I say binary case, then here if bit 1 comes, then you transmit s0 of t, and if 0 comes, bit 0 comes, you transmit s1 of t. Now I need to know which one was transmitted. So by analyzing the output of the matched filter, then I will be able to tell you which bit was transmitted, whether 1 was transmitted or 0 was transmitted for the binary case. Therefore what I need to do is that I expect the right matched filter output to be larger than the other matched filter output. Why? Because if s0 of t is transmitted, s0 of t and s0 of t both are matched, so I'll get larger output here. Larger output. If the same s0 of t comes here, let me choose a different color. Same s0 of t comes here, then what happens? Output will be 0. So I will expect the 0 output in the second matched filter. Suppose if s1 of t was transmitted, then this will give you the maximum larger output, and this gives the smaller output or 0 output. Output equal to 0. Okay. So remember that remember in one of the previous lecture I have explained the matched filter properties. Okay, if we have a orthogonal filters, how the matched filter output will be. Okay, please recall from the previous lecture. Now there will be noise, and that noise will be added into that. So the mean of the the mean of one signal is supposed to be larger than the mean of the other signal by a considerable amount because of the noise. In general, we will expect the correct matched filter will produce a larger output. So if s0 of t is transmitted, the top matched filter will produce larger output. If s1 of t is transmitted, the lower matched filter will produce larger output. And we just subtract the two. Depending on the polarity of the, subtract here, this is positive and this is negative. Depending on the polarity of the polarity of this signal, this is called a decision statistic. We are going to decide whether bit 0 was transmitted or bit 1 was transmitted, or whether s0 of t was the correct transmission or s1 of t was the correct transmission. So this is the intuitive picture. So physical explanation, physical picture. Now let us analyze this mathematically. So v of t is the received waveform. Received waveform, and that received waveform is going to be, if s0 of t was transmitted, then s0 of t plus n of t. If s1 of t was transmitted, then s1 of t plus n of t. But we are not transmitting the both at a time, either s0 of t or s1 of t. We will not transmit the both. Therefore the received signal v of t, which is either equal to s0 of t plus n of t or s1 of t times n of t. is these two are applied to the filters. The input of the filter contains either this one equation number, let me call equation number 1, this is equation number 2. Either equation 1 is applied or 2 is applied to the filters. Therefore, the filter outputs are both the sample data t equal to LT, and the Lth data bit is declared to be a 0 or a 1 based on which filter output sample is larger. So to decide which of the two outputs is larger, subtract the 2 and 1 from the other, okay, and from that subtracted value you form the decision statistic. So this is called a decision statistic. And if the decision statistic is larger than 0, then you declare that bit 1 was transmitted or the signal S0 of t was transmitted. And if it is less than 0, you declare that S0 of t was transmitted or bit 0 was transmitted. And moreover, the decision statistic has noise from each of the matched filter output. So it has a double the noise power. So that we will see how the noise power will be doubled up. Okay. Now the received signal can be written as a sequence of orthogonal pulses. You are not transmitting only one pulses, you are transmitting many pulses. Therefore, in general, your V of t can be written as sigma AL prime S naught of t minus LT, then plus here L prime, then AL prime bar S1 of t minus L prime capital T. So this is the sequence of orthogonal signals. So you are either transmitting S0 of t or you are transmitting S1 of t, and here L equal to L prime equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, and AL can take logic 0 or logic 1. It is not taking plus 1 and minus 1, okay. So if AL prime equal to 0, then AL prime bar equal to 1. On the other hand, if AL prime equal to 1, then AL prime bar equal to 0. So either one waveform will be transmitted. You are not transmitting both the waveforms. So either we are transmitting S0 of t or S1 of t. Here if AL is 1, then we are transmitting, if AL is 1, then we are transmitting S0 of t. And if AL equal to 0, then we are transmitting S1 of t. Any one waveform we are transmitting. So that is how one can represent this received waveform. And also you are not only receiving this waveform, you are also receiving the noise N of t. So N of t is also coming. So this is the input to the filter. Input to the filter. Input to the both the matched filter. Both the matched filter. Okay. Now let us look at the output of the matched filters. There are two matched filters. Let me take the top one first. Top one. So top one is U0 of, let me call that is U0 of t. The top output matched filter, let me call by U0 of t, and this one let me call U1 of t. So U0 of t is equal to summation over L prime goes from minus infinity to plus infinity, then AL prime S0 of t minus L prime t convolved with your S0 conjugate of minus t, okay, plus AL prime dash S1 of t minus LT L prime t convolved with S0 conjugate of minus t plus your N of t also convolved with S0 conjugate of minus t. So this is output of the top matched filter. Okay, now let me call, this is R naught of TC, these two are matched, so let me call R of t minus L prime t. And what do you say about these two guys? In particular, this S naught of t and S1 of t are chosen to be orthogonal. Therefore, this term will be 0. Okay, there is no contribution. So really you'll get the contribution only from this one. So contributions from this guy. And here no contribution because they are orthogonal. Both S naught of t and S1 of t are orthogonal. Okay, so this convolution value will be 0. Okay, and now finally what you will get is sigma AL prime R of t minus L prime t plus n of t convolved to S naught conjugate of minus t. This is what you will get it. Now let me call this one, maybe I'll choose some other color. This let me call n0 prime of t. Here 0 indicates top filter. Okay, therefore the whole thing let me replace by n0 prime of t. Okay, so this finally I am getting at the output of the first filter, top filter. Now for all you sample this filter at t equal to LT. Now what will happen? See, the summation contains so many terms, minus infinity to plus infinity. You substitute L equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. You substitute. And out of this all values, for all other values of L prime will not contribute. Okay. You take L prime equal to minus 1 or let's say minus infinity, then go on, then minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and go on up to L and L plus 1, L plus 2 and so on up to infinity. So it takes all other values. Now I am going to consider only the Lth interval. Lth interval. So the contribution from the L minus 1th interval, L plus 1th interval, L plus 2th interval, second interval, first interval, 0th interval, minus 1 interval, all are 0. Contribution from all other intervals. Because the pulse is a Nyquist pulse. Once you do, I already told, explained this in one of the previous lecture. Once you do the convolution, the output pulse should be Nyquist pulse. So the Nyquist pulse will not go and interfere the next bit interval. So when you consider the Lth bit interval, then the output of the L minus the output in the L minus 1th interval or L plus 1th interval will not come and interfere to the Lth interval. Okay. So the point is you are considering Lth interval. The contribution from L minus 1th interval, L minus 2th interval, then L plus 1th interval, L plus 2th interval, L plus 2nd interval, this all are 0. Contribution is 0. Contribution is 0. So when you consider only Lth interval, remaining term you can neglect. Remaining terms in the summation can be neglected. Okay, so therefore the summation becomes AL, because I am considering Lth interval, AL R of let's say this is LT minus LT plus n0 prime of LT. So this is your U of LT. Okay, and at t equal to LT, when I substitute t equal to LT here, when you sample at I'm sorry, this is U of t, sample, this is a sample this output at t equal to LT. Therefore U of LT, which is equal to AL times R of LT minus LT. I'm sorry, this is T only, T plus n prime of n0 prime of LT, right? So this is R of 0, and this is the maximum value of the Nyquist pulse. It's a Nyquist pulse, the maximum value occurs at 0. Okay, therefore this is going to be AL plus, and this let me call N0L prime. N0L prime. Here 0 indicates top filter and this L indicates Lth interval, Lth bit interval, and that's it. It's a simple notation. So this is a sampled value of n prime of 0 of t. Okay, so this is output of my top filter. Therefore u naught of lt equal to al plus n0l prime. So this is the top filter output. Similarly, if you do the same analysis for the lower filter, okay, it is going to be u sub 1 of lt, which is al bar prime, sorry not prime, al bar plus n1l prime. So let me call this is equation number 2 and equation number 1. Okay, so this is output top filter, top matched filter output, and this is bottom matched filter output. Okay, now these two should be compared. So now your decision is going to be based on both of this and deciding which one is larger. So I need to decide whether this is bigger or this one is bigger. So I can compare these two and I can take a decision. So this is one way of taking decision. Or you could subtract one from the other, which is what we have shown in that, which is what it is shown in the figure. You subtract the one from the other. If you look at the figure, see the one is separated from the other. The top one is the bottom one is subtracted from the top one. So do the subtraction and you can come to the conclusion that which one is bigger. So let me write down the statement of testing here. So one way to test which of the two filters output is larger is to test whether the difference in the two filter output is positive or negative. So the same statement let me write down them mathematically. You take u0 of lt minus u1 of lt, subtract the 2. Okay, this is difference actually. Difference. If the difference is positive, okay, this is positive, right? If positive, then decide on bit 1. If the difference is negative, this is negative. Less than 0 means negative value. Then decide bit 0. Okay. Now the two then when you do the subtraction, then one can ask what will happen to the noise. Okay. So that is very important thing that we will discuss now. Note. So in the upper filter, upper matched filter, you will get N0L prime, and in the lower matched filter, you will get N1L prime. These two noises are uncorrelated. So whenever you have noise, uncorrelated noise, and when you add or subtract it, then what will happen? The variance will be doubled. Okay. So when you add or subtract, when you add or subtract, This is the result from your random process course. Subtract 2 uncorrelated or independent noises. Independent noises or noise component noise components, the variance will be doubled up. So in this case your matched filter will not help you. So this is a drawback compared to your BPSK. In BPSK the variance will not be doubled, but here the variance will be doubled up. So subtraction is not going to help at all in that process. The only way the noise is being taken care of is through the matched filter. So the matched filter will suppress the noise as much as possible. Therefore, the noise values will be as small as possible by using the matched filter. And this is the best one can do. Beyond that, one cannot do it. So, okay, so one has to live with this noise. And obviously, it is well known that the binary orthogonal signaling scheme in general will have poor performance as compared with the corresponding antipodal signaling scheme. See, if you compare to antipodal signaling scheme like BPSK, the binary orthogonal signaling scheme, compare to, let me write down properly, compare to binary antipodal signaling scheme, binary orthogonal signaling scheme is poor. It's a poor performance, okay, as compared with the corresponding antipodal signaling scheme. So because of the noise variance will get doubled up. So that one point one should remember. And the noise is okay, this N0 L prime and N1 L prime dash are okay, uncorrelated and independent, okay, identically distributed random variable, identically distributed. In short, the people will call IID. Okay, they are independent, identically distributed random variables. If n of t is Gaussian, otherwise no. If n of t is Gaussian. Okay, so these two noises are uncorrelated, and this uncorrelatedness becomes independent only if n of t is Gaussian. Okay, so therefore using two matched filters one can demodulate the binary orthogonal signaling schemes. But the drawback is the top matched filter will produce the noise variance of n0 by 2, and the bottom matched filter also will produce the noise variance of n0 by 2. And when you subtract the two noise variance, it will not be subtracted, it will not be minimized. In fact, it will be doubled actually. So that one can prove it mathematically. So that is a drawback in this method. But you can demodulate the orthogonal signaling schemes using two matched filters. So with this, let me stop, and in the next lecture let me talk about the passband orthogonal signaling schemes. So how to demodulate the passband orthogonal signaling schemes. Okay, so let me stop. Thank you very much.